So today we're going to get started with the Plank and Platform Council. The mission of this council is to promote, represent, and enhance the platform section of our industry for the benefit of its members, the public, and the industry with a special interest on safety. Our platform council is chaired by Mrs. Susan
Scheuer.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Quality Specialty Products.
It's going to change next year. It'll be a lot easier. It'll be LeDuc.
Okay, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And her co-chair, no congratulations for this.
Congratulations.
Is Mr. Dean Cook from the Indian Mill Corporation. So with that, I'll turn it over to Susan. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. I appreciate your time today. As Jim said, I will be doing the presentation. Dean will try to field more of your questions and suggestions. So I'm going to do a disclaimer first. I am, like a lot of people, working from home. I live in a rural area, so my internet can be somewhat unstable. So I may experience internet outages. If that happens, just bear with me. It usually only lasts a minute or two, and it just boots me out, and then I've got to sign back on, and so I hope you'll all just be patient if that happens to me. So first things, Jeff Jack has resigned from our Plank and Platform Council. He's taken on different responsibilities at RedBuilt. So we will wish Jeff the very best in his new position. His replacement, Steve Aikman, from RedBuilt. Mr. Aikman has been in the engineered wood products industry since 1983. He has held various sales and executive management roles with Truss Joyce, Weyerhaeuser, and now RedBuilt. He resides in Boise, Idaho, but he is originally from Vancouver, British Columbia. Please extend a warm welcome to Steve, and we look forward to his insight, knowledge, and experience, and we feel will be a very welcome addition to our council.
Thank you, Susan.
Steve, but you're welcome.
Hey, just so you know, Jeff Jack's in the room here, and he's listening to this call, so everybody behave yourself.
Hello, Jeff. We miss you already. Okay, so next we will introduce everybody on our council. So I am chair. Dean Cook from Indian Mill is co-chair. Steve Aikman from RedBuilt. Steve Bosman from TrussCore. He was formerly MSN Plastics. Brian Hillier from Leher. Matt Morgan from NDM Scaffolding. And Justin Whitwer from Event Staging Systems. Is everybody on my council?
Yes.
Not chiming in? Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. So the last committee meeting, we as a council were looking at doing a tip sheet. And after presenting it to you guys, the general consensus of the members was that it did not target the right group of people with the information that we had on there. So we went back to the drawing board, and then at convention, at the council chair meeting, we were asked if there was any way to utilize the YouTube channel and do videos. So our council talked about it, and to be honest with you, doing sheets like we were talking with the tip sheet, it requires somebody to have something in their hand and to hold it. Whereas we know that most people, certainly most young people, they go straight to a YouTube if they're looking for how to do something or information. So we decided, in lieu of doing an actual tip sheet on paper, that we were going to attempt to do videos. Now these videos, we are looking for like just some maybe safety information, you know, actually some suggestions from our members. We're looking at doing 4 short in the field tip videos, and they're gonna be for each type of plank. So there'll be one for solid sawn, one for laminated, one for composite, one for metal. So instead of us determining as a council what's going to be in the videos, we would really appreciate any sharing of tips or things that you would like to see on these videos. So I'm going to actually open it up right at this moment and see if anyone wants to jump in and offer some suggestions. So if you want to talk to me, unmute yourself.
Crickets.
I know. Come on, guys. Any ideas?
Dave, Glade, you always have an idea. It's too early in the morning, the sun's not shining.
I mean, if you're doing YouTube videos, and I mean, storage, I think is from a distributor standpoint would be a good video to be able to show your yard stuff.
I
Okay.
think that was part of the plan. I'm sorry, Susan, but Brian Hilliard Lair. I think that was part of the plan, was to kind of give an overview of storage, inspection of all different kinds of planks and platforms that everybody will be using, and everybody just kind of does a round robin of what we're trying to achieve.
How about maybe something to do with grade stamps and differences in strengths of plank, so people appreciate that a 2x10 isn't just a 2x10?
Okay.
We could, and this is Gene Morgan, MDM, we could show different applications of use, and, you know, like you mentioned, the storage and inspection issues could be shown.
You might even want to try to do proper usage and improper usage as a training tool.
Yes.
Okay.
Like 4-wheeler ramps.
My planks work really good for that. Just that.
Motorcycle planks. Actually, Brian, yours do. There's a story behind it. That's another day.
Now we could show how well they burn.
Yeah. Or they make dining room tables.
Or storage units.
Ramps for pickup trucks?
Okay. Any thoughts on how long we think the videos should be? We were thinking, you know, like 5 minutes, but we're not, obviously we would not be able to cover all of that in 5 minutes. So maybe take one of these or 2 of these suggestions and try it out. Do different videos for, you know, all the different types of aspects, or do one video and kind of go through a lot of things. Anybody have suggestions on anything like that?
You'd probably get bigger traffic if you did them in 3 to 5 minute little quick tips on each subject, and then put them in a YouTube channel that, you know, people can go to, so you can watch the subject you're specifically looking for, or just click the channel button and then it'll run back to back.
That sounds good.
That's a plan. I concur.
What about if we
Exactly.
did a broad general one and split it up into pieces, so you could have the option to do 1 long one or 4 short ones, or however many it comes out to be?
It depends on how you label it, because it's going to be Google searches that are, you know, searches that they're going to have. So it's going to be how you label it as to, you know, what you're going to put in it, I think.
Okay.
Is SAIA going to be updating the YouTube channel? Or is this something that each committee is going to be in charge of?
We would love to update the YouTube channel. So if you get us new content to put out there, we can definitely get it out there.
Okay.
And we can also put it in our resource center on the website. And we work with an SEO company, so that should help with the Google searches as well, like Wendy was just mentioning.
So, Jackie, when they actually go into the video, they do a search on it. It would take them to SAIA/blank inspection kind of thing.
It would probably take them to it would probably work both ways. I would hope it would take them to the website first, but it may pull up that YouTube page first, but that would also link them back to the website, to the resource page. So either way, as long as it's pulling up, I think that's a win for us.
Okay. Okay. All right.
The only other thing, Susan, is what about continuity of format? You're going to get, several different companies producing something along the lines of what they use in the field. I don't know if a script is the right thing, but some way of making them consistent, so that if you're viewing one versus another, the message is the same, the content is relatively the same, so folks get a feel for how these videos flow. That might be something we want to work on, is just how to script these.
I agree with you on that. And I think actually that's one of the things that we definitely need to do for all four of them, that we have a similar script, definitely for some consistency. I'm thinking that if we could do one or two of them just to kind of get an idea of what they're going to look like before we dive in and do a bunch of them. Is that also something too that you would need that we would have to have approved, Jackie? Once we do we would have to submit it for approval?
I would believe that Review and Regulatory would need to look at it just to give it a stamp of approval.
You could have a standardized introduction too, the big SAIA logo up front, and then introduce that the individual videos.
Yeah, and keep all name branding, everything off of it.
Right. That's the other thing we talked about, is that this cannot be a sales pitch. It has to be neutral, and we're gonna do our best not to identify any specific manufacturer. Now, if we get into like what markings they have to have, we'll see how that plays out. But what's your thoughts in general on this idea?
I think it's a great idea. I think it's short little videos that we can show people on our phones or our tablets, or our computers, spot on the moment, out there in the yard, pull something up. I think that's it's a great idea and a good way to go.
Okay.
I agree.
You can also use it in an employee orientation. If you're hiring a yard guy, you can show them the storage videos in their orientation.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Another good video to make might be the difference between planks and decks.
I'm writing these stuff down. Okay.
What else?
Anything else? Any other thoughts? This might be a short meeting. You all are on board with this.
Susan, what's your thoughts for getting volunteers to work on this? How are you going to solicit folks to get to work on it?
That's a good question. I think what I'm going to do we're gonna do one at our office, and the big challenge is getting a quality video. So we're gonna have to try to figure that one out. But I think what I'm gonna do is have one of our sales guys tackle that, you know, where he can try and do the video. We'll see. That's going to be, I think it's going to require a certain amount of trial and error.
Are you talking about tackling the laminated part about it?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yeah, we would tackle the laminated part of it, just, you know, just to do one and see. Unless you want to volunteer.
Yeah, day one, start volunteering. You know, I'll work with you on it though. We'll
Okay.
collaborate.
That would be really helpful. Because I think if we can at least get one done and just sort of see what, you know, what works, what doesn't work, what, you know, how long each of the presentations ends up being, how, you know, because like I said, I don't want to have all 4 people kind of go off and do something and then we all come back with like all these different, you know, amounts of time and that we're spending on each. So I do think we need to do at least one test, see how it goes, get that perfected, and then, you know, move on to the other plank styles.
Hey,
Would
Susan,
that-
Jeff here. One idea is you may wanna have your scripts reviewed by the regulatory group before you go to the trouble of making the video. And that way, if there are any issues, you know, that's addressed up front. And then once you've gone to the trouble to make the video, you've kind of got most questions already covered.
From the review and regulatory point of view, yeah, that would be a better idea, Susan.
Okay, all right, that works. We can certainly do that.
We love reading scripts.
Okay.
And then we'll figure out who gets the lead parts, right?
Okay, I mean, that would certainly work. So I think maybe what our council will do after this, we'll set up a meeting and we'll come up with, we will come up with a script to submit. Does that sound like a good plan? We'll pick a couple of subjects and just maybe, like I said, do a test and see what happens.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. We're going to run through this pretty quickly. So, any other suggestions or projects that you would like for us to work on? We've kind of exhausted a lot of stuff. We have a lot of things on our website already. You know, guides and booklets that, you know, for people who want to actually have something physical in their hand. Is there anything that you guys can think of that you would like to see us do or work on?
Is there any new news about Chinese laminated plank coming into the country?
I've not heard of anything personally.
Not lately. Not lately. I haven't heard anything. What about you, Steve?
Now, Russian maybe, but not Chinese.
Yeah, Russia's in, a lot of Russian.
Really?
Yeah.
East Coast, West Coast, or both?
East.
I've seen it on the West Coast.
Have you?
Is it good or bad or indifferent?
No comment.
I mean, are there issues with it or?
Not that I know of.
Oh, all right.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing like what we had with some of the China products that came in. So, but yeah, I have not heard anything about that material at all. So, anything else? Anything else you want us to be looking into? I mean, I could certainly see if I can, you know, get any information if Chinese plank is coming in. So Mike might be able to help me with that, but Yeah, we haven't run across it in a long, long time.
Thank you.
Susan, one of the things you might want to do is from a council point of view, and this came up a couple of times in the last 2 days, where some of the documents that you've got are maybe not necessarily up to date. Some of them may still have SIA on them, which means they're obviously more than 10 years or 8 years old. And so they certainly need reviewing.
Okay.
And I know it's something you could probably do in conjunction with the with headquarters on that. But just it's something that definitely needs to be done, particularly as we're pushing more for people to go to the website and check resources. We want to make sure that those resources are current.
Okay. We did do that at one, didn't we do that recently?
Yes, we went through and changed all the logos, all the wording on all the pamphlets and tip sheets. And I think the SAI gave away the rest of the stuff that said scaffold SIA on them.
Okay, so you guys are done. Good.
Yes.
You know, I'll double check it. I will double check it just to make sure.
Okay.
But thank you. That was a good.
I think the Plain Council was ahead of pretty much everybody else already on top of that, so that was good for them.
Oh, good. That's nice to hear. Thank you.
And
Jackie,
honestly,
are we going to do anything on marketing side where it can every council can have a consistent look and feel versus us changing it and then somebody else changing it? Color change, logos.
Go back to sleep, Matt.
I know for the supported council, we're doing tip sheets and we're trying to get a format for all of them. So Jackie said that she was going to be doing something with that.
Yeah, that is something that we've been having internal discussions about, is rebranding everything and getting it through the proper marketing channels. So if you get something, then yeah, we'll definitely help out with the rebranding of everything and make sure that it meets the branding guidelines that have been set.
And the format guidelines too, I would imagine. So they all keep similar.
Yes.
Susan, do you think there's any interest on the council in looking at skip plank and plywood decks?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Skip plank and plywood decks?
Skip plank?
Right. I think we did something with that, putting 3/4-inch plywood over skip decking. We were doing load ratings. That was years ago. We can go back and look, but I think we've done something with that before.
It might be nice to take a look at it and update it if it's necessary, Dean. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, you looking for load data on certain spans with that? What are you looking for?
Well, my experience has been that a lot of people have misconceptions about whether you can even use plywood. And then the other question that come up is proper bearing, you know, how much overlap and so forth. So it may not be a bad idea to have a little ditty on that.
Yeah.
It's very popular with some of the big scaffold companies, but
sure.
You know, keep in mind that the point loads on the plywood is a controlling point, isn't it, Dave?
Well, if you got rolling towers on it, that's for darn sure. Yeah. But it's amazing to me how many people think that you got half the plank, you still have the full strength of a solidly planked scaffold. So there's some issues out there. So it's probably a good idea to cover that.
Quit stealing your dad's internet.
Say what?
So Dean, you think we did something on this?
Yeah,
like
this is
just some kind of like guideline or whatever? Is that what you guys are looking for? Like some kind of guideline on that?
No, we did a load rating years ago on, you know, certain spans. I think the max we came up with was 25 pounds per square foot on a, you know, maximum 7-foot span with skip deck and 3/4-inch plywood.
No.
But we have to look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was done when Skip Plank was back in high school. Oh, that's a different guy. I'm sorry. Yeah, it seems to me that we did something, or maybe I did something, I don't remember, for various thickness plywood and spans of plank. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, is that, you know, you're spanning 10 feet, you aren't going to get 25 PSF because you got half the plank. So, you know, and you got the weight of the plywood. So, be a good idea.
Are we thinking it's something on like that is accessible on the website that we need to look at and update, or
no,
that happened internally and never went anywhere?
I don't remember seeing it as an official document anywhere.
Okay.
No, I've never seen it.
Okay. We can certainly look into that for sure. Anything else?
Crickets.
Yeah, okay. You guys are certainly welcome to email me directly if you come up with some ideas or thoughts or suggestions or questions or whatever after our meeting. I will, it looks like we're probably going to start to go back to the office next week. We'll be doing split shifts. So I will be working from home every other day to start, just kind of get things, because we have the shut-in order till the 15th of May, except she's loosened up some of our restrictions. So, you know, so we're gonna, I'm waiting to hear from our Mike and see what his, you know, what his decision is for next week. So, but anyway, so I will be available to you guys anytime. So I'm happy to, you know, talk things over. If you want to discuss more anything about the videos, I'm happy to do that too. But I think it's a great idea, Jeff, that we do a script first and then submit it, so that we don't go through the whole process of doing a video and then finding out that, you know, it wasn't content that they wanted to do. So. Any other thoughts before we call it done?
Can you put a motor on your boat now, Susan?
Can what?
Can you put a motor on your boat now?
Yes, we are allowed to go out on the lake. They are not allowed to raft up, because they have like they do Lake St. Clair. It's a huge thing where, you know, just tons of boats will raft up with each other. And they're saying you can't do that. And we actually have the Coast Guard, like,
wow,
Selfridge Air Base right there. So they monitor that all the time. So as long as you're out fishing or doing something that's, you know, you have a limited number on your boat, they're going to let it pass. But, you know.
Interesting.
So we can do landscaping now. We can buy paint. You know, we can get together with our family. They're really preferring you didn't, but they're allowing it. So that's where we're at. Michigan got hit pretty hard. And so I think things are going to move very slowly in the direction. I'm not going to be running out to restaurants or anything right quick. So just kind of, you know.
Okay.
We're glad to see all of you guys are safe and healthy, and hopefully all your families are as well. And
thank you.
Susan, while you have the assembled group here, are you not going to talk about what you might want to be doing for convention? Let's all be positive that we're going to have the convention in Phoenix.
Yay, we're going to have a convention in Phoenix. Well, depending on how much we get done, it'd be awfully nice if we could present one of the videos.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're, you know, that would be kind of fun to be able to do. And again, anyone on the council, if you guys have a suggestion for presentations or presenters, make sure that you tell the SAIA. I'm not sure how many they're looking for, but they will welcome any suggestions that you might have. So yes, hoping that we will see you in Phoenix in September. It would be really nice. But anyway, yeah, and hopefully we'll have a video done. That would be awesome.
That would be great.
Did that cover it, Steve?
Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Yeah, just wanted to raise it up. Yeah, raise it while you've got everybody here so that they all know
Yeah,
you.
yay, go to Phoenix, go to Phoenix. Let's hope we
Phoenix.
don't have a resurgence, and we're kind of monitoring all of that. So I'm planning on going, so, you know,
Okay.
hopefully that won't be a problem. So, and hopefully we'll be somewhat back to normal by then, especially by August 1st, because that's when I'm getting married. So please, please, please allow us to go to a restaurant. But worst case is we'll just have it here. We have plenty of property. So
What's the address? We'll all attend.
yes,
Yeah.
come on out. Casco,
Congratulations,
Michigan. I'm in the middle of the woods. We are on 10 acres, so
He's in BFE.
plenty of room.
Susan, were you married before?
A long, long time ago, not
Well,
since I've been at McCausey.
That's personal.
Most people know that I am. Most people know that I am. And a very, very wise rabbi once told me we should all get married the second time first.
Yes. I would agree with that because I ended up with a super guy, and you know, he's super cool, and yeah, it's so far it's been lots of fun. So
As far as boating goes, I'm in southern Rhode Island on a saltwater pond, and I was glad that I put my boat in 2 weeks before everybody else did because the marina actually cut back their workforce, and at least a third of the boats aren't in the water yet. So I've been out almost every single day because the striped bass are running. I go out at night, like at 4 o'clock, and the fishing's been great.
Wow.
One of the advantages of not being in Lynn and being in Rhode Island.
Very good.
Some of us are still at work at 4 o'clock.
yeah.
In the morning.
Yeah, I've been working full time, so yeah, no boating for me at this point. But you know, I know a lot of people around here. I think even the golf courses are now open, so you can't get a card, and you have to. I think they're limiting to 2 people. You can't go with 4. But at least if you want to go out and hit balls or whatever, you can do that too. So they're trying to encourage you to be outside, you know. But yeah, I have a feeling that this weekend it's supposed to be kind of nice here, that there might be a lot of boats out on the lake. People anxious to get out of their houses.
It's going to be beautiful in Kansas City as well.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, because we have not had a good spring. It's been very cold here. We've had snow, and so we're looking forward to a nice weekend.
All right. Well, if that's all for the Plank Committee, thank you, Susan.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone.
We're going to leave the window open, and we're going to go ahead and break for lunch. We'll be back at 1 o'clock Central with the Construction Hoist Council. So everybody can stay. Thanks, Shannon. Everybody can stay on and chat or go to lunch, and we'll see you in about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Okay.
Dean, and welcome
Thanks,
aboard.
Susan.
Thank you. Bye-bye.